On the actual closing, one thing we want to actually do, like we do at the end of every show, is kind of revisit the actual challenge. The challenge is now moving into how many days? 35 days since the challenge was made. What is the challenge for those who actually have never heard of it? The challenge is our attempt to see exactly if there's a sportscaster or a sports content creator that would be willing to not require us to go out and capture the actual data, their predictions like we're actually doing, but they would actually send the data in and welcome the spirit of competition. So that's what the challenge is, to see exactly if there's any sports caster or sports analyst that welcomes the actual idea of this competition between sportscasters. You know, they talk about competition all the time. You would think somebody would actually jump into the idea. And let me tell you something. This has already made it to the ear of someone that's on our top 10. Someone that's on our top 10 list, the top 10 list that we actually presented today with Sportcaster, a professional sportscaster on a major network, ESPN, Fox, FS1. One of the ones that were actually on our actual top list is already aware the fact that we're trying to make sportscasting and sports analysts competitive. Will they step up? Not yet, not so far. In order for them to step up, it's really easy. The only thing they need to do is email their predictions to an email address that we've already created for them. It's listed right there on the actual screen. The challenge at nsleague.co. Email a prediction to the challenge at nsleague.co and join us live on the podcast just so we can verify your identity and that someone is not emailing the prediction and it's really not you. So that's the only reason. So if they do those two things, then they would have accepted the challenge and taken the first step into making sportscaster competition a real thing and a thing that's going to be moving forward in the future. Once again, when you think about it, I don't think you can really... You can't unsee it. You know, the concept of the idea that sportscasters can compete. There is quantitative data that can be used to just not make them, you know, talk about being subject matter experts, but prove it and embrace competition. Since they talk about competition, their whole job is to talk about competition. Why wouldn't they embrace competition? I think it's a real big, it leaves sports incomplete for the people whose job it is to actually talk about sports on a 24/7 basis, to not be experiencing competition themselves. So whether we